It was a wild day today. We've got this clip right here of RFK and Pocahontas getting into a shouting match. Let's listen in right here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So last November, while you were under consideration to become Secretary of Health and Human Services, Mr. Kennedy, you said, quote, if vaccines are working for somebody, I'm not going to take them away. No exceptions, no ifs, ands, or buts. You would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. Then last week, you announced that the COVID-19 vaccine is no longer approved for healthy people under the age of 65. In announcing the change, you said the vaccine will be available for anyone who wants it. Now, obviously, both things cannot be true at the same moment. So let's clear this up right now, Secretary Kennedy. Will you tell America that all adults and all children over 6 months of age are eligible to get a COVID booster at their local pharmacy?
Good God. She is just painful to listen to, man. She is painful.
Today.
Anybody can get the booster.
I'm sorry?
Anybody can get it, Senator.
Anybody. So you're saying that is now the official rule of HHS. Anybody is eligible to get a booster by just walking into the pharmacy.
It's not recommended for healthy people.
No. If you don't recommend, then the consequence of that in many states is that you can't walk into a pharmacy and get one. It means insurance companies don't have to cover the $200 or so cost. As Senator Dr. Cassidy said, you are effectively denying people vaccines.
We're not going to recommend a product for which there's no clinical data for that indication. Is that what I should be doing?
What you should be doing is honoring your promise that you made when you were looking to get confirmed in this job.
You're going like this.
That is, you promised
Get him,
that you
RFK.
would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. You just changed the classification of the COVID vaccine.
I'm not taking them away from people, Senator.
It takes it away if you can't get it from your pharmacist.
Well, most Americans are going to be able to get it from their pharmacy for free. Most Americans will be able to get it from their pharmacy for free.
The question is everyone who wants it. That was your promise.
No, I didn't. I never promised that I was going to recommend products with which there is no indication.
When you said,
and I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies, Senator.
Did you?
$850,000. He just called her out.
With which there is no indication.
When you said,
and I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies, Senator.
Did you hold up a big sign saying that you were lying when you said that? Because you are the one who said you would not take them away. Now, Senator Kennedy,
I'm not taking them away from anybody.
Secretary,
you want me to indicate a product for which there is no clinical data?
Senator,
is that what you want?
Secretary Kennedy, you said you wouldn't, and now you did.
I'm not taking them away. Everybody can get access to them.
No, they can't walk into a pharmacy the way they could last month and get access.
It depends on the state. It depends on the states.
A year ago,
but they can still get it. Everybody can get it. Everybody can get it, Senator.
So look, let's move on. You clearly are taking away vaccines. I've seen the list for what's coming up next, and that is the agenda for the next CDC vaccine panel. And first up is ratifying your COVID actions. Second is hepatitis B is on the agenda. So should Americans expect you to take away hepatitis vaccine access as well, even though you promised not to?
As I said, I'm not taking vaccines away from anybody.
Okay, same answer, right? You're just going to deny that when people can't get access, that you're not taking it away. Then let me ask you, is that the same game you're going to play with me?
You want me to recommend every product in the world so that without any clinical trial data?
Through on your promises.
Yeah, my promise was to give.
A month ago,
she won't even let him fucking talk. She's grandstanding. She's trying to get one-liners and she's trying to get clips. She's not even looking to get a response from him. She's looking to make accusations that will get traction on social media because a bunch of leftists will respond to it because they don't care about the context. That's all she's doing.
You could get COVID vaccines by just walking.
You can
into a
still get
pharmacy.
COVID vaccines,
You
Senator.
are taking that away.
No, you are
So
still,
let me
you can
ask
still
you
get the
one more
COVID vaccines, and
question,
Medicare
Secretary
will still
Kennedy.
pay for them, and Medicaid will still
Tell the
pay for
head
them.
of the CDC that if she refused to sign off on your changes to the childhood vaccine schedule, that she had to resign.
No, I told her that she had to resign because I asked her, are you a trustworthy person? And she said no. So
What?
if you had an employee who told you they weren't trustworthy, would you ask them to resign, Senator?
So I'm sorry, but this is not what she has said publicly. She has
Well,
said.
I'm
she
not
would
surprised about
reapprove. So you're saying she's lying?
Yes.
Yes.
Every conversation I had with her, there
And
were
let me get
witnesses.
this straight. This is this.
she Pocahontas thought she's gonna get one on. He said, so you're saying she's lying? He's like, yes. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Same person that less than a month earlier, you stood next to her and described her as unimpeachable, and you had full confidence in her, and that you had full confidence in her scientific credentials. And in a month, she became a liar? Is
Yeah,
that what
you
you're
should ask her what changed. And by the way, a month ago, you were voting against her. Oh, because you thought she was either incompetent, ineligible, or unsuited to the task.
I voted
Now I
against her
agree
because
with
I
you.
was afraid she was going to bend the knee to you and Donald Trump. And it looks like she didn't bend the knee, so you fired her. Look, you're putting America's babies' health at risk, America's seniors' health at risk.
Oh, now the Democrats care about babies. Get the dude, Democrats are fucking evil, dude. They really are. Now Democrats care about babies. Okay.
All Americans' health at risk, and you should resign.
I'm Steve Ducey.
That was good stuff right there. That was good entertainment right there. We also had another clip.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, Secretary Kennedy. Just before I ask a question, I did want to note in response to the Secretary's statement that the Trump administration wants to lower the cost of health insurance, that across the country right now, the median increase from commercial insurers that we're seeing this fall is 18%, just as families are struggling to make ends meet. Now, I want to follow up on a line of questioning that Senator Cassidy began. Mr. Secretary, President Trump said that the COVID-19 vaccine produced by Operation Warp Speed was, and these are the president's words, a monumental national achievement. Although I have strongly opposed many of President Trump's actions, I agree with him that Operation Warp Speed in 2020 was a monumental achievement. Unfortunately, you are undermining one of the president's biggest achievements, which, as the president said, saved millions of American lives. You even went as far as to call President Trump weak for this life-saving accomplishment. Last year, you tweeted that President Trump has a weakness for swamp creatures and that Operation Warp Speed was among, here's your quote again, the most devastating impact of President Trump's weakness. So, Mr. Secretary, was Operation Warp Speed a monumental national achievement, as President Trump said?
I will answer it. No, it was not. It's okay to disagree with Trump. Operation Warp Speed was not a good accomplishment. Nobody cares what Trump has to say about it. It wasn't. We know Trump likes to brag about it. We know Trump likes to say how great it was. And everybody, almost everybody in MAGA agrees Operation Warp Speed was garbage.
For the reason that I already said, and I assume you won't let me repeat, but I'm happy to if you want. Yes, it was.
Good. Assuming it is a monumental achievement, you've said it was, is it true that, as President Trump has said, he saved millions of American lives with the COVID-19 vaccine? Because you've just expressed great confusion about that to Senator Warner.
The only confusion I expressed is exactly how many lives.
Operation Warp Speed should have never happened in the first fucking place, okay? You created a problem so that you could create a solution. Just because the solution to the fake problem might have solved the fake problem doesn't mean that it was a good thing. It was garbage. The lockdowns were garbage, and the solution to the lockdowns was garbage. It was all garbage.
Lives were saved. I don't think anybody knows that because of the data chaos.
So multiple studies have shown that the vaccine reduced infections and severe diseases and saved at least 3 million lives in the United States and millions more abroad in the first 2 years of the pandemic.
It's possible those are modeling studies.
I will also note, just as you've been talking about data and you're concerned about it, the process for COVID vaccine approval was public, it was live streamed, and it was out in the open. Manufacturers and experts have publicly submitted data analysis, and when the FDA has asked for more, they've submitted more. They've done that for years, and the evidence is clear and supports what President Trump has said. The vaccine works, and it has saved millions of lives. Your own process, on the other hand, has not been transparent. You repeatedly choose to ignore data because it doesn't match your preconceived.
I don't care about the vaccine one way or the other. What I do care about is forcing people to take the vaccine. And that was the problem with everything that happened. When you force people to do something against their will, when you take things away from people, when you keep people separated from their fucking families, when you take their ability away, when you take freedoms and rights away, and then say, hey, if you take this untested drug, you can get all those rights back that you had. But until then, you can't. It's like, this is absolutely psychotic in every way possible. That's the problem with all of it.
Notions and lies. So you have said that the vaccine did save lives. You've said it was a monumental achievement. And given that, if you agree with President Trump that the vaccine saved millions of lives, why have you acted behind closed doors to overrule scientists and limit the freedom of parents to choose the COVID vaccine for their children? Why have you done that?
For the COVID vaccine, I was removed by FDA because there was the industry.
No, it was behind closed doors.
No,
with
it's not public.
And scientists who said they wanted to brief you on the science, scientists who wanted to understand why the FDA, why you unilaterally changed the parameters for giving vaccines, making it possible now, to Senator Cassidy's colleagues' points, that they're going to have to go off-label
This is crazy talk. You're just making stuff up.
to prescribe a vaccine for children. I'm not making things up. Do you know how the FDA approval process works and what
Yeah, I
happens
do.
when
I know exactly.
what an off-label? Do you know what an off-label
I
prescription
know
is?
exactly how it works. I know exactly how it works.
So why behind closed doors?
It's not
did
behind
you-
closed doors. The industry makes the studies, and they could not provide a study that said that it is effective for healthy
So
kids.
when have you produced the data that you relied on and that this FDA relied on to change those parameters? You did it behind
That
closed
data-
doors.
no, the
and
data's
now
all
parents,
public.
now parents who decide that they do want their children to have
You're just
COVID
making
vaccine
stuff up, Senator.
can't- I'm not
You're
making
just
stuff up.
making stuff up.
You know, sometimes when you make an accusation, it's kind of a confession, Mr. Kennedy. So let's just settle
happy.
with this. So here's what's going to happen. To Senator Warner's point, to the parents who are concerned all around the country.
She got that let me speak to your manager haircut. You know she's ready. Let me speak to the manager.
To people who want to get the COVID vaccine this fall, even if they're under 65, because the boosters have worked, there's been much less serious disease. People do not have the same level of threat and risk from COVID that they used to because of these vaccines. People who want to exercise their freedom of choice are being denied that.
No, they aren't. Everybody can get the vaccine.
Because you are citing data that you won't produce to the public.
You're just
And you
making
are
things up.
rejecting
You're
science.
making things up to scare people, and it's a lie.
I don't
can
think,
get
I
that.
don't, with respect, I do not think I'm the one making.
You are
Thank you, Mr.
lying
Chair.
right now, Senator.
So the whole thing, like the clips that I've seen is generally a bunch of people yelling at RFK, not giving him an opportunity to respond, to anything that they're accusing him of. And the moment that he accuses, they just stop talking. That's kind of what I've seen from this. Now, I haven't seen all of it. I've seen several clips on social media, and I've seen some of the full clips that have been going around. But I didn't get a chance to watch all of it yet. But he got grilled by a lot of these clowns. He really did.